I mentioned in my intro video that my interest spans many categories. One of those categories would happen to be pro wrestling. We're talking about shit that I absolutely love, and that is wrestling. Been a wrestling fan since I was about 5, 6 years old. Right now, I have to say it's one of the best times to be a wrestling fan, like, period. Not only do you have WWE, the giant of professional wrestling sports entertainment, you also have Impact, which I still call TNA. There'll always be TNA to me, damn it. You got Ring of Honor, ROH, always bringing that great pure wrestling. And New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I've been watching for the past about 4 years consistently. And of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling is pretty awesome. So with the G1 Climax 29 just wrapping up, I thought it would be a perfect time to drop this little video right here. Just like WWE, New Japan has its coveted top of the card. This is where you'll find main event cats like Okada, Naito, and Tanahashi. What I like to talk about in this video is New Japan guys who have the potential, air quotes, potential to be at the top of the card within the next 5 years or so. Not predictions, potential. Let's go. First up is Chase Owens, the crown jewel of the Bullet Club. As Booker T might say, he got all the tools. You gotta love it. Chase is technically sound, surprisingly quick, so he can go with the junior heavyweights. And he's even put on some thickness over these past couple months so he can hold his own with the big boys too. Dude is also pretty charismatic, so I don't doubt that he can hold his own on the mic and get the Japanese crowd engaged, whether it's in the ring, you know what I'm saying, or doing promos, which aren't very common in New Japan, but still. You can see he gets a very good response from the crowd. Now, Chase is probably the least likely on this list to actually be in a main event scene, but given a chance, I think he can take the ball and run with it. Dude tore it up in the G1 this year, so at the very least, I think it would be awesome to see him in the G1 in the next couple years. Or, you know, he might even get a shot with a shot against Okada. Penny-minute tag team match, get a title shot. I think he'll have a good showing. It's probably me just being an American jabroni who can't speak the language and doesn't understand very much about the culture. But from what I see, a lot of the New Japan rosters, they're honestly kind of boring. I hate to say that. Like, a lot of them are just like, they just come off as badasses who don't have a lot of personality. Again, this could be me just not, you know, knowing the score and shit like I know with American wrestling. Of course, I don't understand the fucking promos and shit, but even guys like Naito and Okada, who are obviously more charismatic than, you know, a lot of the roster, they obviously stand out, but even those guys kind of seem kind of like boring at times. That's not a bad thing, because if you can be boring and still be great at what you do and kick ass, you still can rock with me. And Hiroki Goto is a perfect example of that kind of competitor in New Japan. Dude can pretty much go with anyone. He can put on a classic match with anyone. His match with Omega really put him on the map with me. It's where I first really noticed him, and I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't got a run with the strap since that match. Because it seemed like he's pretty much done everything in New Japan except for claim the IWGP heavyweight title. So, Goto, I don't see him being, you know, stepping up to the plate like Okada, having a legendary run like Okada or Tanahashi. But since he's getting up there in age, I think it would be cool to just see him have one run with the strap, even if it's just a transitional, you earned this type of shit after all these years type of congratulatory thing, I think that would be cool to see because he can hold his own with just about anyone. Simply put, Goto is the man. I'd even go as far to say he's the embodiment of strong style. Dude wrestles a very physical match, chop the shit out your ass, make you earn that fucking ice pack at the end of the match. He's a real badass for sure. Next up, we have another Chaos member, my homie and yours, Yoshihashi. Yoshi is one of the more perplexing New Japan rosters in the sense that he's so damn good in the ring but seems to get no love from booking. I mean, dude, I don't think he's ever even sniffed the mid card, really. I haven't seen him sniff that motherfucker. I mean, he's pretty much just a step above a jobber and shit, the Young Lions. But, hey, he's a badass, man. He can go with anybody. His fucking chops are brutal. Rival Roderick Strong's chops. Nice move set. I don't know about the charisma and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't understand the culture, so they all seem kind of boring from that perspective. But given a chance, I think Yoshihashi can do some damage, man. Now, he might not be able to do this with the meth head wizard gimmick he got going on. He might need to be repackaged. But with some support from booking, some good storylines, some good meaningful matches, I think he can be a believable main event type of player. Next up, we have Shingo Takagi. I'm not up on my Japanese wrestling outside of New Japan, but from what I hear, this dude was the man in Dragon Gate, I believe it was. But what I do know, this dude has come into New Japan and just set the promotion on fire. He's pretty much been the beast right out of the gate. I think he had this little streak he went on where he was either undefeated or unpinned up until the best of the Super Juniors, which he ran through all the way to the very end. He also had a very impressive showing in the G1 Climax. I think he was personally, now if we're looking for MVPs outside of the person who won, I would have to say it was Shingo. I know Kevin Kelly on that Ishii was the MVP shit, but I would have to go with Shingo because the dude just had brilliant match after brilliant match. And he's definitely someone I could see being at the top of the card, whether it's just competing for the heavyweight championship or actually being the man. And I actually think he could be the one to rival Naito for control of LIJ. I thought it might be Evil once upon a time, but I think Shingo was more of a leader type. The one who might be like, I'm tired of your bullshit, Naito. We're going to have to settle this shit or you're going to have to get the fuck out type of shit. So Shingo, definitely be on the lookout for him. Last but not least, we have Sho of Sho and Yo from Roppongi 3K. It took me a while. First, I went digging these cats. I mean, they got the fucking Japanese boy band type of look. They look like two douche nugget jabronis and shit. Nothing beyond some nice flipping floppity ass junior heavyweights. But over time, I've come to respect both of their games, and I've definitely come to notice that Sho is the standout of that group. He had a great showing in the best of the Super Juniors. A fucking brutal classic match with Shingo. And he would be the guy, he kind of reminds me of Ibushi a little bit, like a young Ibushi. Can do it all, he's got the look. And those two kind of remind me of like the Rockers and shit. So if there was ever a Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels type of deal, I think Shaw would be the Shawn Michaels. Which would unfortunately make Yo the fucking Marty Jannetty. So we'll see how all that goes. But I definitely think Sho has a bright future as a singles competitor in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's my list. I wanted to think outside the box with this. That's why you don't see cats like Will Ospreay or fucking Jay White or Kota Ibushi. Guys who are pretty much obviously going to take that mantle once You know, Naito step down, or we get Okada fatigue, or Tanahashi finally call it quits. You know, guys you might not think about. So those are my guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll chop it up. Peace.